I thought this would be easy since I cook a lot already, but it's a lot more involved even. When you remove even grains, like removing grains, they're a quick thing you can make. Like pasta is a really quick supper. So even if the sauce is local ingredients, then when you make, when you have the pasta, that's quick. But to have to make absolutely everything from scratch like this has been a lot of work. And I was joking with my husband, I think our son has watched more TV this week than usual because I'm trying to get supper, and last night I didn't finish in the kitchen till 8:30 trying to clean up. And so I didn't like that so much. I enjoy cooking, just not maybe this much.
It's day 7 for Andrea, Mike, and Kieran, and they're celebrating the end of their Eat Local challenge by putting on a local food feast for a few friends.
Tonight we've invited a lot of our close friends over. Everyone's coming over tonight really to celebrate local food. For supper we're having corn on the cob from Corn Acres Farm and meat. Sausage, chicken, and fish. And for dessert, watermelon, which has been dessert all week. It's watermelon. I'm not sure what to put on the fish. I thought of lemon garlic, but there's no lemon trees nearby. So just garlic might be yucky. I don't know. So I'll have to think something. Welcome! Jackie, Terry, and Nikki. Elderberry. Oh my gosh.
How much do you want? Perfect. Look, it's elderberry wine. How is it?
Sure, that's very nice.
Jim actually found this for us. Oh. He was online. We were looking for a gluten-free beer. Yeah. Gluten-free and local. And they said that when things were in season. When they're in season. Yeah, when they're in season. So when the grains are in season, it's about as local as you can get. So we bought a couple of those tonight.
Welcome to our final night of the 100-mile diet. We've managed over the last couple of days to collect a variety of things for you guys to try. So we have a green salad, coleslaw, corn, and there's more to come, chicken and sausage, potatoes, and down here we have some trout.
Where's the sausage from?
The sausage is from Lyons Turkey Farm.
This corn tastes good.
Is that goat's milk?
It is goat's milk.
Oh, well, let's see if the boys will drink it.
Okay.
It looks a little thicker.
I think it is. It's 4.3 milk fat.
You know what kind of milk that is? Goat's milk.
When I was growing up, my grandparents grew everything that we ate, and even from milk, we milked a cow, and it was your whole milk, and everything was fresh. And we thought, I guess, as a family, we were progressing by being able to go buy everything in the grocery store, and you're getting away from all of that. But as it turns out, I feel like I should be going back to that, so that my kids are getting the best thing for themselves and for us too.
Cheers. Local beer.
Jeanette Hasse has been growing and eating her own food for over 25 years.
It requires some work. Get all the soil off. My gardening season starts in April and it goes right through. The last planting is done in September. So these salad greens were planted in September and they'll be harvested into December. So a lot of people think that all the gardening happens May 24th weekend, you plant and you eat, but really you can start much earlier and you can spread your harvest out and you can plant late so that you have things that you can eat well into the fall. These salad greens, they were planted in early September and they're doing really, really well. They're covered with this floating row cover. So that's a Japanese mustard. This is called tatsoi. I didn't plant a whole lot of that, but it's quite nice. And I thought this year I felt like having a lot of arugula. So there's a great big section here of arugula. They'll be going at least until December. Sometimes I've had them into late December. They'll survive about -10, -12. There's this rock here that kind of insulates it, and then I can use a double layer of row cover, and I could also put some old sheets on it. This bed's been planted 3 or 4 times probably. It had salad greens and garlic in the spring, then it always has my cucumbers in the summer, and now it's got the salad greens again. This is my root cellar. When I moved here, this was an old cistern. I don't have enough room in my front yard to grow all my own winter vegetables, but I do buy them every fall. I go to a local organic farmer and come home with a carload of food. One of the things that I did right off was to build a cold storage in my basement. It took me less than a day, and it takes me less than a day to go to a local farmer and fill it up with all my winter storage vegetables. Because I think that's one of the biggest challenges, is to find some local vegetables and fruit in the winter. And that's something anybody could do, really. It just requires like sort of a 5x8 insulated space. These are the vegetables I have for the winter. I got about 2 bushels of onions here. They've been cured outside for a couple of weeks, and then you hang them in mesh bags so that they have lots of air circulation. Same with garlic. It needs to be cured and it needs lots of air, and I store between 30 and 50 bulbs of garlic a year. Green cabbage, I'll store like that until April, and they're fine. I didn't get any red cabbage this year from the farmer. It's when you buy from a farmer, you don't always get everything you want. This is about a 1/4 bushel of leeks. They're in some damp sand just to keep the roots from drying out. 6 or 7 turnip here. They store really well. Sometimes they get a little bit shriveled, and I just cut them up and put them in water. And then these pails are full of, most of them are carrots, and there's 1 pail with parsnip. And traditional root cellars were built into a hill, and they were like 98% moisture, dripping water from the ceiling, and we don't get that in most basements anymore. So the damp sand keeps the root vegetables moist. So what it is, in each of these pails, there's a layer of sand, then a layer of carrots, a layer of sand, a layer of carrots, and so on. And when I need them, I just dig them out. And you need to cut the tops off of the carrots or they'll sprout. And I've had them until, beautiful carrots in here until June. So it's an 1,100 square foot house, and there's a furnace at the other end. So the basement's small, it's nothing fancy. I'm quite amazed at how much I can do in this little space.
At Luke's Gastronomy in Kingston, Ontario, 95% of all ingredients used in their kitchen come from local farms. One of Chef Luke Hayes Alexander's specialties is tête du cochon, or pig's head.
Right now I'm working on a pig's head. It's a local pig's head, of course. I tend to appreciate the offcuts more than the traditional cuts. I mean, I'm not sure if many people prepare pig's heads, but I can't get enough of things like pig's heads or beef cheeks, because my perspective is that cuts such as pig's heads have even more flavor than your typical cuts, because they have a very good balance between the meat and the fat, and the meat is more worked, so it has a chance to develop more flavor.
Keeping their menu local during the winter months provides a unique challenge for Chef Luke.
There aren't many things available in the middle of winter. You have some roots, apples, sometimes rhubarb. So the #1 challenge is to make these simple foods and these humble foods and these often underappreciated foods, they have to be made interesting. And because there aren't 100 different things you can work with, you have to focus all of your creative energy on making these humble foods, making them funky and making them intriguing. And you need to take the time in the kitchen to experiment. And because of the limitations, I find that I need to experiment that much more, just to push them beyond the realm of what you typically associate them, or how you typically associate them. I adore working with underappreciated foods, but making them almost more interesting than the classically popular foods. And that's one of the things that I love about local, because in a way it forces you to be more creative and forces you to think about the food more than you otherwise would if everything was available to you. I love knowing the people that have made the food, and then I love taking that food and making it into whatever I can. It's a symbiotic relationship everywhere from the ground to the plate, and it is interconnected, and one can't be done really without the other.
Family-owned and operated Burnbrae Farms is one of Canada's largest egg producers, with processing facilities in 6 provinces. Burnbrae Farms originated in Lynn, Ontario, near Brockville.
My great-grandfather came to Canada in the 1800s and bought the farm here, Burnbrae Farms, back in 1893. And he was a dairy farmer, and then my grandfather was a dairy farmer. And then when my dad was 13 years old, he introduced 50 chickens to our dairy farm, which got us into the egg business.
Although it operates nationwide, Burnbrae Farms works closely with local farmers.
We actually bring eggs in from local farmers around all of our grading stations. Specifically, the Lynn facility draws eggs from Eastern Ontario farmers, and we grade them here, which means that we wash them, we dry them, we take out the defects, and we also grade eggs from hens that we own ourselves. We have pullet houses where we raise the birds from a day old to 20 weeks, and layer hen houses where the birds actually lay eggs.
Local eggs graded at the Lynn facility are distributed to stores in the region.
Our eggs are sold within usually a couple hundred miles of this facility into Montreal, Ottawa area, and west to Peterborough.
Burnbrae Farms is committed to reducing its environmental footprint.
We've just authorized to put in a solar panel on our poultry barns. In our pullet barns, we have dark walls that absorb the sun's rays, and the energy is used to help heat the pullet barns. We've also just been making choices when changing out equipment to use equipment that has a lower energy requirement.
Coming up on Eat Local Challenge, our participants look back on their successes and failures during their 7-day experience.
Sitting on the couch watching the hockey game and not being able to have a beer and some chips was difficult.
This is not a new trend. It's the way people lived forever up until the last 20 or 30 years.
Plus, tips from our experts on how you can begin to add local food to your diet.
I think get to know a farmer is the best action you can do.